roof, I haven't been mine a couple of days. I'll go tomorrow after Torah study here. But the roof trusses were all in, so
Oh,
we'll see what
good.
they've done since Monday when I was there.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yes.
Sounds
I
exciting.
watch it on Facebook, Nancy.
Yeah, that's why I keep
progress on
posting
Facebook.
pictures.
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
adventure.
In the time we had, what was the concept? Instead of buying a new house, you bought a lot or tore something down?
Yeah, well, no, we left the fireplace standing. The fireplace is there and some of the original flooring is there. But
Oh,
there are no lots to buy. And this house, unfortunately, had been inhabited by a hoarder.
Oh,
So it was about
Border.
15 trips to the dump in those big trucks.
How
oh
fun.
my God.
And then we stripped it down to the studs because I said to the kids, the houses in the neighborhood are 50 years old. We need to replace every plumbing line and every electrical line. Because you don't want to just slap lipstick on a pig. You know, you really want to do it right. So the plumbing has all been redone. And now that the new roof, because we vaulted the roof a bit more than it was. So now that
Nice.
that's done, next will be the walls and the electrical.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is such a joy to gather here in person and online as we conclude this week and welcome Shabbat, our day of rest and holiness and rejoicing. Let's take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, letting go of all the tension that's built up over these last days leading up to our day of rest. Those of us outside here in the Warsaw Family Amphitheater, able to rejoice in creation outside. Those at home can relax and rejoice where you are, connected to community, both on Zoom and through streaming. Whether you are a regular or this is your first time with us, we welcome you and we hope you enjoy our service. We're going to begin by joining together in the blessing over the candles. If you're at home and have your candles nearby, now's a good time to light them. The prayer can be found on page 120.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. And on page 138, the Chadodi, the traditional words of welcome to our beloved Shabbat as it returns to us each week, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Again, page 138. And then on the final verse, we'll rise and face the setting sun.
שמחה וצהלה, תוך פני ים סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך אדוני, לך אדוני לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לך אדוני לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
Now that we've welcomed Shabbat, let's welcome each other. Those online get to go to the breakout rooms for a couple minutes, and those here get to schmooze a bit. Introduce yourself to someone you don't already know, and say Shabbat Shalom. I just... Shabbat Shalom. Welcome back from breakout rooms. Just want to give a couple of shout outs. Firstly, welcome to anyone who is visiting from out of town. I know we have a contingent all the way from Jersey. Welcome to the Jerseyites. And looks like there may be some others who are floating in from elsewhere. Great to have you here. And online, we see lots of our regulars. Great to see Don and Barry and the Feugel people, and Anne and Teresa, Grace Deutsch, Mari Rudin, fresh back from Maccabia in Israel. Great to see everyone online as well. Well, now that we have connected with each other just a little bit, let's turn to the Baruch Hu, which can be found on page 146. And those who are here, please rise, if you're able. Page 152, we remain standing for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchut Leolam.
Page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אלוהיכם אמת.
Please be seated. On page 155, let's join together in this creative reading based on the Ve'ahavta passage we all just chanted. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God. And when we were led from Egypt and over the dry land of the split sea, page 158, our ancestors sang these words.
כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Amen. Page 160, Hashkivenu. Those who keep Shabbat by calling it a delight will rejoice in your realm. Yismachu, the second passage on page 162. And on page 164, our tefillah, our central prayer. Please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agit tehilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotzeinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah האל הגדול הגיבור והנורא אל עליון גומר חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני לחיי הכל אתה רב למושיע מוריד הטל מחלקל חיים בחסד מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו בלי שני עפר מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך מלך מביט ומחייך ומנציח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. Let's take some quiet time for the traditional prayers on the page, the prayer of the heart, and we'll join back together with Shalom Rav on page 178 in a few moments. Friends, we turn our thoughts and prayers to those who are in need of healing. Page 362, we think of those who are at home, recovering in hospital, undergoing treatments, recovering from surgery here, and wearing what looks like to be a strange face mask, but is actually a sinus bandage. Refuah Shlema, speedy recovery. We didn't want anyone to think you were wearing your mask the wrong way, leaving your mouth uncovered. But just want to assure everyone that's for other reasons. We think of those who are undergoing chemotherapy, awaiting diagnoses, struggling with infertility, mental illness, and addiction. Let's join together in our prayer for healing, page 362. 382.
רפאנו אדוני ונרפא, הושיענו וניוושע, אל קרוב לכל קורב, אך קרוב ליראיו אישו.
We've now reached the Kiddush. Those who are here receive some wine or grape juice on their way in. Those at home, grab your Kiddush cups or whatever you are containing your wine or grape juice in. And those present here, please rise as we sanctify this day over the sweetness of wine or grape juice. Apparently this is, if those who have wine, it's a good drop, apparently, tonight. It's Israeli wine, not Manischewitz.
Some people might disagree.
Ask Greg Shavitz, he knows. Golan Heights, very spicy. Sandra thinks it's excellent wine. Sandra Chapman.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvoto v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodesho be'ahava u'v'ratzon hilchilanu, zikaron למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילן למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת ואותנו מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
לחיים.
Very good.
Please be seated. My late grandfather, whom we called Zayda Nachum, or sometimes the chewing gum Zayda, because he would always ply us with sugar-free chewing gum designed for those who had false teeth. Zayda Nachum, who lived to 102 or 103, we're not sure because no one's really sure what year he was born. Zayda Nachum was very, very connected to the state of Israel. He was connected for a whole range of reasons. He'd been a small child, brought to Israel overland from Crimea, an area that's been in the news, across through Turkey and down through Lebanon into the land of Israel, yet to be established as the state. As a small child, he played in the nascent city that was to become Tel Aviv, and that's where he had his bar mitzvah. Along with most of his family, they took a boat to Australia not long after his bar mitzvah, and he spent most of the remainder of his life creating a new life there in Melbourne, Australia, with frequent visits back to Israel and family still remaining back there that he would stay in touch with. But he was very, very connected to the state of Israel in everyday activities. I'll never forget going to his place and finding newspaper that was very different from the newspapers that we had at home because they were very thin and lightweight, the paper itself. And that's because it was the regular Jerusalem Post that had come all the way from Israel to Australia by airmail. Can you believe it? He had a shortwave radio and would pick up the sounds of the radio coming from the state of Israel, from Israel's national broadcaster. Later on, he would, much later on, be able to stream Israeli TV on his computer, and we hooked it up to his TV, and he had a internet radio receiver, no longer shortwave, but coming through the internet, any number of Israeli radio stations. In his car, when he was driving, there would always be cassette tapes. Some of us remember those. Playing Israeli music. He was very connected to the state of Israel. And I was thinking about Zayda Nachum and his connection to the state of Israel when I thought about an event that's taking place this Shabbat that hasn't got much press, that hasn't risen to our consciousness very much. You see, ever since the end of Pesach, those of us living outside of Israel have been somewhat disconnected from the state of Israel. You see, we have this strange phenomena in the Jewish calendar, in the Hebrew calendar. Many who live outside of Israel still observe extra days of holidays in the Jewish calendar, as has been done for centuries. And so instead of 7 days of Pesach, there are 8, with 2 holy days at the beginning and 2 holy days at the end. But in Israel, they do it like it says in the Torah, 7 days. And every now and then something happens to disconnect us, as it happened this year. Because this year, the 8th and final diaspora day of Pesach fell on a Shabbat. But for Israel, Pesach was over. So while many communities in the diaspora were reading Pesach-related Torah on that Shabbat of the 8th day, Israel was already off to the next Torah portion. They were an episode ahead in our season's reading of Torah. And so it has been ever since Pesach. We have been a week behind the Israeli Torah readings, which means there have been spoiler after spoiler after spoiler every week, because we're coming to it late, guys. We're a week behind. We've been disconnected until this Shabbat. Finally, we're catching up. As we have journeyed through the book of Numbers, we've reached the double portion, 2 portions, Matot and Maseh, that depending on how the episodes land from week to week, sometimes we're in a year where they're together, and sometimes we're in a year where they're apart. Israel read Matot last Shabbat, and they're reading Maseh this Shabbat. We are reading Matot Maseh, bringing those 2 Torah portions together, and more importantly, acting as a reminder. Just wait for the plane to fly over. Acting as a reminder that we've been disconnected from Israel. And that this Shabbat, we can reconnect. Reconnect in the Torah readings that will continue now through the High Holy Days until Simchat Torah. But more importantly, reconnect with Israel in the kind of ways that my grandfather was always connected. There's so much going on in our lives, just keeping up with the household, keeping up with vacation plans and camp and travel and visitors and the washing and the cleaning and the renovations and the planning and the work. And there's plenty of news going on around here to take up all of our attention, and around the world too. But as Jews, we're part of an extended family that encompasses Jews of many shapes and sizes and colors and backgrounds, Jews living outside of Israel and Jews living inside of Israel. Right now, Israel is gearing up for an election again. Israel is welcoming summer tourists, having just been inundated with athletes from around the world at the Maccabiah Games, the Jewish Olympics. There have been advances in diplomacy. There have been developments in high-tech weaponry medicine, agriculture. And as we can all see on Netflix and other streaming services, Israel is pulling above its weight in producing amazing TV, movies, but also books, music, literature. Back in my grandfather's day, he had to work pretty hard to stay as connected as he was to the state of Israel. Those Jerusalem Post papers delivered. It took a couple weeks, and the news was already a little old by then. We can get online, check out any number of English language Israeli newspapers, listen to Israeli-focused podcasts, listen on our streaming services to Israeli music that is cool right now, or as I think they're saying, slay. Apparently that's the new word for cool. I think I just embarrassed the tweens among us. We can watch TV shows. We can watch movies from Israel in ways that we were never able to before, and there are an immense number of high-quality books in translation by Israeli authors. Of course, we can always hop on a plane and visit, but that's still a little complicated. So friends, having been disconnected for several months in our Torah reading cycle, as we come back and reconnect the diaspora and the state of Israel, let's renew our connection to the state of Israel, a home to significant proportion of the Jewish people, the locus of so much development and hope for all people. Israel, not only a beacon of opportunity for the Jewish people, but a place of great inspiration for all people. On this Shabbat and always, like Zayda Nachum, may we connect with the state of Israel, and in so doing, may we help make the world a better place. Amen. And now our prayer of hope in the future, page 586, the Aleinu. Please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוצר הארץ, ומשל יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגודלי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו ואין, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים בפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Let's remain standing as we turn to page 598 for the Mourner's Kaddish. This Shabbat, we're in the mourning period for the recent passing of Marilyn Rudin, to be laid to rest this Sunday. The Shloshim of Geda Aronovitz, Shirley Rosenzweig, Donna Sadoff, and Doris Dietz Turner. This Shabbat marks the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the deaths of Jack Aronoff, Harry Covell, Saul Daniels, A.B. Diamondstone, Herbert David Friedlander, Elliot Glicksman, Mildred Hertzlinger, Herbert Hyman, Delilah Jewell, Jack Klegger, Fran Coopersmith, Shirley Kupferman, Irene R. Mentor, Phyllis O'Connor, Samuel Polonsky, Shirley S. Seaburn, Abraham Shabtai, Louis Silverhart, Gerald Stein, Sidney Stone, Janet Sugi Trepper, Morton Paul Vinicor, Geraldine Wenk, Sarah Wallishan, Michael Wartrich. We also remember those who've died through Sinat Chinam, senseless hatred, through gun violence, through COVID, over 400 per day still, as well as all of those whose names have been added to the chat online. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for an abiding blessing. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam l'amei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran v'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say, Amen. Please be seated. All except the fabulous Adrian Cohen, our El Presidente.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank
Shabbat
you,
Shalom.
Rabbi and Cantor and Paul, for our beautiful service and music tonight. Thank you to our ushers, Steve and Greg, who are awesome as always. And welcome, everyone. Here we have visitors from New Jersey. Welcome.
Jersey.
New Jersey. And I know we have other visitors tonight. Welcome to all of you. I promised my new friends tonight that I would be very quick with announcements, so I'm going to be as quick as I possibly can. Shout out to Sandra Chakmak for an amazing WTBY Authors Forum last night, and they have another event. Children, parents, grandparents, come to the guided tour of the Sculpture Garden at the Newport Beach Civic Center Park on Wednesday, August 24th at 10:30 a.m. No charge, and all are invited to a casual lunch after the tour at the Wild Strawberry Cafe. Email Sandra at sandrachakmak@yahoo.com. We got that right this time. And as always, all of our events are on tby.org. So if you have any questions, you can look there or call the office. TBY Youth, we have several opportunities to have fun in the summer with TBY. We have a junior edition, which is 3rd through 6th graders, a swim party on Tuesday, August 11th from 3 to 5:30, a littles edition, which is TK and through 2nd graders, come before Shabbat on Friday, August 26th, and they can create a Havdalah kit, including a braided candle, which will be nice. And we have happy hour for parents, so if that's not a reason to come, I don't know what is. And August 26th is also our Invite Your Friends to Temple night. So anyone who's looking for a temple, anyone who wants to check us out, invite them to come. I've already invited a few people, so we should have nice, fun, new people, and please wear your name tags. I'm kind of pushing that at the door so we all can be as friendly as possible and enjoy each other's company. We are celebrating romance August 12th, our Tu B'Av Love Shabbat, which should be wonderful and special, and we have the Simcha Band that night. We also have, let's see, the high holidays. which are right around the corner. Oh, I almost forgot. Torah study tomorrow. Very important.
Yes,
Online
Torah study
only
tomorrow.
with Rabbi Zilberman at 9 a.m. You can do it from the comfort of your living room. And the high holidays are only 8 weeks away, so you're going to hear this every week now. But 3 days to order your honey from the heart. Keep telling you, it's a great thing to do, and everybody super appreciates that. So do that. It supports our temple and Ort. And high holiday tickets are coming, and if you want to purchase tickets, they will be available on August 10th. And if you haven't renewed yet, there's lots of ways to do it. You can do it online, you can do it on the mail, you can call the office. If you need help doing it online, they'll help you do it online. But it's really wonderful to be all renewed and ready to go for the holidays, and we're all looking forward to seeing everybody in person this year. And what a blessing. We're hoping the numbers continue to stay relatively low, but we're all going to try to keep each other safe and be here in person so we can enjoy each other's company. So please think about your membership renewal if you haven't already done it, and we will see you soon. And now, guys, one song and then we get challah. I promise to be quick. So thank you.
Thank you, Adrian. Yes, we have a closing song, and then we're not handing challah out anymore because those who are here know we have the return of the oneg. So for those at home who've been looking for an extra reason to put on some pants and make it down the 405 or up the 73 or whatever it is and join us in person, we do have onegs now every Friday night, and they're high quality catering by Blueberry Hill. So, just a little extra enticement. So we will conclude after our closing song. We'll do the motzi, which will allow folks who are here to head out to the oneg. Please do go out through that way. If you come this way, you may fall over, trip over, knock over some piece of electronics. So please just head out that way, the way you came in. And folks at home, we do want to see your challahs in a minute. But before we get to the challah, connecting to Israel is a big theme tonight.
It is.
And you want to say a word about what we're about to sing?
Sure. Most
Cantor?
of us know the words Oseh Shalom, and this is written by Yoel Sykes, who is part of a group called Nava Tehillah, and they're an Israeli group, and this Oseh Shalom has become quite popular recently. So
Absolutely. Please rise and let's join together. I think you know the words.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.
B'tei avon. Good Shabbos, everyone. Great to see you. Stay safe, stay healthy.